Hello, it's time for a new video. So it's time for set 3. Set 3 is top 10s. So each one of us is going to pick our top 10 things of any sort, and we're going to talk about it in our video. Alright, time for top 10s. My top 10 is my top 10 favorite artists, because art is a huge part of my life, and honestly, when I was thinking of top 10 things to do, this was like the biggest thing I can think of, because top 10 kitchen utensils and top 10 ways to store your CDs are not quite as exciting or as important to me as top 10 artists. Okay, number 1 has to be Frida Kahlo. She did amazing work. She did insanely raw and emotional paintings, and the way that her art has influenced my art has to be the most important piece of inspiration that I've ever gotten. Okay, my number 2 has to be Beth Kavanaugh-Stichter. She does really cool giant ceramic sculptures that are so kind of intense and almost like raw and unfinished that it kind of unnerves people when they see it. And I think that's what I really love about it, is art that can get this super visceral reaction from people. Okay, number 3 is Vermeer, because I love the colors he uses and I love the way he uses light. The Girl with the Pearl Earring is so classic and so awesome, and that has to be my favorite by him for sure. Okay, number 4 has to be Kenneth Roquefort. He did a stint on Red Hood and the Outlaws that I read, and I think he's also done some stuff for Superman and various other heroes, but that art is so crazy detailed, so intensely colored, and so perfect, I think, for the story, that he's definitely in my top 10. Okay, number 5 has to be Rodin and Camille Claudel, which I'm putting in the same category as number 5 because there is a lot of historical debate about how much of Rodin's work he actually did, because he did an Andy Warhol-esque thing where he had a lot of his students make art and then he took the credit for it. And Camille Claudel was one of the most influential students that he took part of her work for stuff. And I think like the Gates of Hell are beautiful and amazing, but there's just no way to know how much influence Camille Claudel had on that, and her own work is so beautiful that I kind of had to put them together because it's just amazing work and we don't know who really did it. So I kind of want to give credit where credit's due, because on the one hand, Rodin's work's amazing, and on the other hand, plagiarism and the fact that Rodin was kind of a dick. Number 6 is Carl Warner, who does foodscapes, which are landscapes made out of food, and his work made me like rethink Photoshop entirely. It is super crazy and it just makes you want to be in these beautiful, beautiful places. I think if anyone has perfectly captured Candyland, it's this guy. Okay, number 7 is Rembrandt. His stuff is, I mean, his portraits are insane, his portraits are beautiful, his portraits are life-changing, but his landscapes are what really get me, because when I look at those landscapes, it's like, I mean, it's super cheesy to say this, but it's a little bit like coming home. It's finding these warm places and these places that you just look like you feel like you're looking out your window as you're on the train ride home, and you are just so happy to be there, and it is just beautiful. Number 8 is Gaudi, who, his architecture never ceases to amaze me. I mean, of course, there's La Sagrada Familia, which is his giant piece of architecture in Barcelona, which isn't even finished yet. It's so insane. But his mosaics and the way he makes everything feel like it's a Disney movie, or like half the buildings should be Ariel's palace under the sea, it's just astonishing. He was so talented, and he's definitely one of the people that has influenced me so much, so he's absolutely in my top 10. Okay, number 9 is classic, Van Gogh. His work is clearly very famous, it's unparalleled, it has all of those beautiful colors, it has all of the beautiful blending, all of the time, all of the emotion, and he's just one of those guys that his work, even if you don't think it's influencing you, it's probably influencing you a little bit, because it's become so ingrained in our culture that he I mean, he's got to be on here. He's got to be on my top 10. He's just everywhere. And he's definitely influenced my work. Number 10 is a more personal choice. It's actually someone that I know pretty well. Her name's Charlotte Crook, and she does these crazy, super beautiful clothes made out of candy wrappers. I've been around her work since I was very tiny because she actually is like a super great friend of the family, and I can't even like begin to describe how much her work has influenced me and how much she like has to be in my top 10 artists. Because having been around her work for so long, having seen so much of it, and having it be so amazing and like mind-blowing how much time it took and how beautiful it looks and how creative it all is, like the amount of influence that's had on me and the amount it has inspired me to do art and to have art be such a huge part of my life is, I can't even begin to describe it. So she has to be in my top 10 for sure. So yeah, that's about it for my top 10 artists list. I will see you guys next time in set 4 in about 2 weeks from now. Set 4 is the zombie tag, which we created, and we hope you guys will really enjoy. If you'd like to get in contact with us, our contact information is below through email, Twitter, and Tumblr, or you can leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.